Today I'm going to show you a couple of different items from the 2019 Celebration catalog. If you follow me and a couple of my girlfriends over on Creating and Sharing the Life You Love, or friendstostamp.com, it's a demonstrator website. One of the things that we're going to do this week on Facebook Live, is show our 5 favorite things from occasions and celebrations. So one of my favorite things from the Celebration catalog is the new foil paper. It's the Grapefruit Grove and the lovely lipstick foil paper. So I wanted to kind of play with it a little bit before we do our Facebook Live tomorrow to have a couple of other things to show. So while I was doing that, I came up with this card. So let me show you a little bit with that. I'm also going to be using the So Hoppy Together, which is a celebration stamp set. So it wasn't was not a project that was anywhere in my head, but I'll kind of show you how I came up with it. So the celebration papers, you may have already seen my video with the butterflies. So this is the Grapefruit Grove. It's holographic. And then this is the lovely lipstick, and they're both going to end up being on my card. The lovely lipstick is more of a regular foil, and this is the holographic one. So I'm going to put them both together, and you're going to kind of see why. So what I did was I took, and I just cut these down, and I ran them through some different embossing folders. So this is the ribbon one. I don't remember the names of them. I should have grabbed them. If you go over to Facebook on the live, I'll jot them down on the back, so I'll be able to tell you on the Facebook Live what they were. This is the new one. This is the lace, and this turned out really pretty on this. And these are just little squares. They're 3x3 squares, so if you did a whole sheet of them, it would be even more spectacular. And then this is the 10 tile, and this is a larger sheet because these were the squares that were left over after I cut paper to do the butterfly cards. And I know sometimes when you see pictures that have been taken, that girls have taken, it looks like the paper is different colors, but it's not. It's just deceiving in the pictures. It is Grapefruit Grove, and then depending on how the light hits it, it can make it look like they've done something to the paper. But we've not done anything to the paper. It's just, you can see now if I took this picture, it would look like it's different colors, but it's not. It's just the way the light's hitting it. But this is super, super pretty. So let me show you what I came up with when I was messing with these papers. So I had run these through, and then when I was done, they were just laying here, and I thought, well, these would be cute. So let me show you with a card that I came up with the frogs. So I'm going to pop my Big Shot back up here. We had a big snowstorm over the weekend, so it's kind of cold here in my house. Here's a tiny little crown out of the frogs. I've already cut that out because I knew you guys didn't want to watch me do that, but now I'm afraid I'll lose it. So this is one of the new folders, and it's in the Occasions catalog, and I am going to put the Grapefruit Grove in here. And you know the new ones have lines on them. Always Stampin' Up is right side up. And the line just makes sure that it's kind of straight. Which on this one, it doesn't really matter because these are kind of crooked. And this is not a super thick one. So for this one, I do need 2 of my plates. Run this one through. On the super thick ones, you only just need 1 of your plates. And look how pretty this is. Isn't that gorgeous? And it reminded me, after I ran this through, of like a lizard skin or snake skin or something. And that is how there's no lizards or snakes, at least that I have. There may be one in the Valentine set, but I don't have any from the current catalog. So I thought, well, we'll go with the frog. So that was where the frog came with. And I had been toying around with doing some Valentine things with the frog. So I had 1 piece of pink left. And I thought, what can I do? I didn't want to do another embossing folder. So I went over to the Well Said, which you've seen me do a lot with the Well Said. And it has the word love is one of the little words that you get. So I'm going to use my embossing mat, which I have to think. Every time I use it, I have to think. I do my platform. I do my standard cutting pad, which is this, which is why it says embossing only. I do my die, and because this one's words, I don't want it to move. So I just have a tiny piece of washi tape, the thinnest one that I can get, which you may have already noticed, and I'm just going to stick this loosely around it so it doesn't move. Pop that on here. So then it's, I have to think, it goes the die, it goes the paper, then my blue mat, which everything in the world sticks to these blue mats. They're like a magnet for every bit of dust and embossing powder and glitter that you have in your house. So they always look filthy dirty. And then the white mat that comes with it. So that's the sandwich that comes with your embossing mat. If you didn't have one, maybe you got one in December when they were on sale. And then you just run that through. And it feels like nothing. On this one, you do hear a little bit of a crack. And then you just pull this up. And then you can see it just leaves the impression. And it does, it did this on my other one too. It kind of cracks right here on the L. I'm not sure why. I could probably move it to a better place on my my plate, where I probably shouldn't put it in the middle, because I think this is hitting the sweet spot of my machine and it's a little higher than it needs to be, but I'm going to fix it with a marker so it doesn't actually poke it through. You probably could, if you don't have the mat, you could probably run it and poke it through and then place it back in there, but it's a prettier effect, I think, because it doesn't tear any of the paper except for right there, which it tore both times, but it's not all the way torn, so I can fix it. So then I'm just going to mount all my pieces together. I'm going to take, if I can find my little white piece, where did you go? I just cut it, there it is. So I'm going to take my Memento Black, because I'm going to color it in with my blends. The stamp set comes with the cutest little frogs. I'm just going to stamp him. This would be a good Valentine for guys. It's not overly like flowery. There's no flowers on it at all. And it's pink, but you know it's Valentine, so there's got to be some pink on there somewhere, right? Let's start coloring. Here's the little crown that comes in the set. See the little crown stamp? I already stamped it and cut it out so you didn't have to watch me do it. This is not grapefruit, but it's close enough because of the holographic paper that it matches well. So I'm just going to color in the crown, which is easier to color in before you cut it out. But that works okay. You just have to hold on to it so it doesn't move. And then his little circles. And this is one of the new markers in the Occasions catalog. It's Balmy Blue. I'm just going to give him a tiny dot on the top of his eyes. There's Balmy Blue. And then these are the heart epoxy droplets that are part of one of the Valentine suites in the Occasion catalogs. And I'm going to take, we don't have a, this is Dark Lovely lipstick. I don't have the Light Lovely lipstick out here because I'm not going to use it very much. But we don't have any red hearts. But I'm going to make a lovely lipstick heart. And I'm just going to put this on here first. So you just color on there and let it dry. And then I'll have a lovely lipstick heart. And then I'm going to come over here to where my paper kind of tore. And just touch that. I did a tiny bit there too. And then that just covers where that white paper kind of busted through a little bit. It just covers it right back up. Then I'm going to take one dot of lovely lipstick in each of my little circles. And I'm going to go back with my Calypso Coral. And blend that in. Get my end on. And then this is, I know you guys might like to know the colors when I use them. If I don't tell you what the colors are, then everybody will message me and say, what colors did you use? This is the light mint macaron. I'm going to do his underbelly here with that color. And then I'm just going to blend some of that kind of like in the larger sections and just kind of fill some of that color in with that. And then I've got the Call Me Clovers. This is the dark. With this, I'm just going to take it and kind of go around some of where the highlighting places are that are already on here, and just kind of around some of the edges. So you don't need a lot. And I'm going to hold this up and show you what it looks like, because it looks bad. But this is kind of how you use the blends, even on something tiny. So see, it just added some little strokes of color. And then this is the dark mint macaron. I'm going to start to blend that and go over the top of those little lines that I did. And we're going to try to leave the middle and some of his feet, so they'll end up being a different color. And I know it's hard for you to see, but I have to use my hands to hold on to it. His mouth is open because he's smiling. So it might look like I'm not coloring his mouth, because I'm not. Okay, and then I'm going to take, this should be the light Call Me Clover. I'm just going to finish kind of blending it all together. And again, I don't want to go everywhere because I want him to look a little bit speckly, because he's a frog. And any place where you can kind of still see my dark lines, I'm just blending those in. If you haven't played with the blends to blend like this much, it's easier if you do it on something larger. He's kind of tiny to work with, but because if you get something with a little bit more space to work in. And then just ever so slightly touch above his eyes. If you put too much, then it bleeds. You don't want to look like you smeared. So there we go. And I'll show you what he looks like. So now I just have to stick it all together. Get his little crown. All I have is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And then something that's super fun out of the annual catalog that I haven't used a lot of is this, I think it's called leaf ribbon. Yep, leaf ribbon. But it pulled the green in, and it didn't, to me, it didn't add one more color. But it did add one more color. Like, I didn't have to pull in green. That was just matching the frog, even though I didn't have green on my cardstock anywhere. Because the green looked like it goes with. It gets, you have to be careful with it. It tangles on itself easy. But not only does it match the frog, it matches the theme of the frog. And again, it's a little bit tricky to tie, so no bows. Just gonna be a knot over here on the end. And you kind of just hold your hole open really wide with your fingers. And then just kind of hold it apart so the leaves don't catch on each other until you've got them secure. Oh, and look, I just tore it. Because I pulled it too hard. I'll just tie it again. I think that before when I tried to cut it, it was stuck on itself, and I think that it's where I snipped it before. I started to snip it earlier, and I didn't cut it all the way through, and I think that is exactly where I started, and then I stopped myself, but I think it felt like I'd cut it, and I kind of pulled on it, and it didn't pull anywhere, so I thought, oh, maybe I didn't cut it, but I think I did. So we'll do it again. But you know, I always cut my ribbon generous, and this is good, because when you cut your ribbon generous, if it breaks, you still have some more left. It is a tad bit fiddly. And this is why I cut my ribbon generous, because when it's short like this, it's harder to tie. There we go. Okay, now stick it all together. See, that would have been, I would have had to trim it anyways, because it's still plenty. So I'm using Fuse. If you have snail, snail would work, but the combination of the ribbon and the embossing, if you have green glue, it would probably hold better if you don't have Fuse than snail. And this is cut 5.5, so it goes perfectly across. And I'm just going to take my little love. Down here. I will tell you that you this lipstick paper gets fingerprints on it. So I have found every time I've gone to mount it like that, that I've used my sleeve or a tissue or something to kind of help. Then I'm going to take first, get my heart, have him hold the heart, which you can use your take your pick tool, or the snips still work perfectly for that if they're sitting here. Then stick his crown on, and his crown is so tiny that even our tiny dimensionals are too big for his tiny little crown. So I'm going to cut one of those in half. Oh, I forgot to color the tops of his crown. Let me grab my lovely lipstick again. And just color the little balls on the top of his crown. I colored my hand as well. Put his crown on. And then I've got regular size dimensionals. I'm just going to kind of offset this here. And there you go. All shimmery and shiny, but shimmery and shiny I think in a way that this could easily be a guy card. It doesn't have to be a girl card. Even though it's pink, it's Valentine. Or it could be fun for a little boy. Little girls would definitely love it. You could always put a princess on the inside. Because, you know, frogs and kisses and princesses, it's all the theme. But love the lipstick and the Grapefruit Grove paper, and because it is celebration, you will only be able to get it through the end of March. It's free with a $50 purchase, and you get more sheets in it. It's 12 by 12. You get more sheets in it than you do a normal sized foil packet. Let me look it up here. It's 8 single-sided sheets, so you get 4 of both colors. So you get 4 grapefruit and 4 lipstick. So you get 8 sheets, and they're free, 12 by 12. So perfect. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to see if you have something where you've run it through. Let me know. But those are a lot of fun. I'm gonna try to do some other techniques with the the papers. So stay tuned for those. Have a great day. Bye.